Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Braden, Tim, Second Legacy, and you're awesome for showing up. Thank you so much. This is the place where we take all the happenings of the 2A day, the little squirmy actions of the gun controllers, apply some analysis, commentary, put a nice little veneer of humor and sarcasm, send it right back out for consumption. So make sure, if you guys are enjoying this content, you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on, because today's going to be a thing. You guys are going to watch Tim react to this story in real time. It's going to be gold, because we are going to talk about, Tim, 100,000 children in the U.S. lost a parent to drug overdoses or gun violence. In 2020, a new study finds, Tim. Studies. We've got studies.
So now they're linking drug overdoses with gun violence.
And it was cancer last week.
Yeah, it was cancer last week. So we're gonna throw in car accidents and I guess plane crashes. We're just basically everything and guns.
Guns.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly. So I'm glad you picked it up immediately, because that's what first stuck out to me. But per usual, Tim, as we dive into the gun control cesspool, it gets a lot worse a lot fast. Right? So
a lot fast. Okay.
A lot fast. So let me lay this out for you. Lay out their case. It seems really solid. And then you tell me when the brakes start applying and start spinning real quick. So, Dr. Producer, this is number 6. Deaths from drug overdoses and firearm-related injuries have reached record levels in the United States in recent years, and it's created a double burden, Tim, for children who face an increased risk of losing their parents and of dying themselves, according to the authors of a new study. Now, let me show you a little bit about the study, because I got to lay the groundwork here. Overall, more than 1 million children have lost a parent to a fatal drug overdose or gun violence over the past 2 decades, according to the study published Saturday in the medical journal JAMA, and the burden has increased significantly over time. Now, little side note really quickly, excuse me, JAMA is the exact same place where the whole gun control propaganda piece of more children die by guns, like it's the number one cause of death in children in the United States. That's where that lie talking point came from. Another study from JAMA, just so you know. Same place.
Okay. So we're already 2 paragraphs into this article, and they have not delinked gun violence from drug overdoses. They're just going with the 1 million number. I mean, I don't know how this is going to play out, but it's like 1 million children lost a parent to fatal drug overdose or gun violence. So we had 999,000 people that died from drug overdoses, and then of course there were some accidental deaths in there as well. So involving a firearm or violence. Is it violence? Oh my gosh! Wait, is an accidental shooting violence, or is suicide violence, or is it actual violence?
No distinction was provided. It was just drugs and guns.
Violence.
Yes.
Children. Is this the same? Are these the same children that wear colors and belong to groups typically referred to as gangs defending drug turf type of gun violence?
So this is not that. No,
hey, Johnny, look what I found in the closet. Bang type of gun violence.
No. This is the parents. So this is the parents of children. So it's not. This is the numbers I'm sharing with you. Like the 1 million children.
Yes, okay. So
it's the parents.
So it's not the children. It's the children that lost a parent. My bad.
Correct.
Okay.
That's the angle we're going at now.
Because the gun controllers have been linking, children and firearms forever. This is linking the parents, the deceased parents, to the children that suffered the loss of a parent.
Exactly. Okay. You are on it. We are on. No. We are cruising on this highway. It's about to be so good. All right.
So here's the last ahead of time, folks.
Not this one, because the punchline we're about to deliver is just that's why. So this is number 8. This is the last piece of evidence, Tim, that we're going to bring up. Okay. Nearly 100,000 children lost parents to a drug overdose or gun violence in 2020 alone. Almost 3 times more than in 1999, the study found. These 2 causes of death accounted for 23% of all parental loss in 2020, nearly double the share of 1999. So, Tim,
they still
basic high level.
Them.
No, they aren't going to delink them until the end of this article, which is where the payoff comes in. So, at this level, we are now talking about an increase of parental death for children since 1999. That's the entire point. They're saying it's accounting for 23% of all parental losses, drug overdoses, and violence. Okay? So now we get to the payoff. It starts. This is the point where we turn off of the highway and we go into the amazing jungle of freedom. Check this out, Tim, because this is how they get this data. Well, I'm glad you asked. Direct data on the number of children who lost a parent to death from drugs or firearms is not available. So this study, the researchers analyzed federal mortality data, fertility data, and population demographics to estimate the scale of parental death from drugs or firearms.
How is this news? This is a joke.
I know, but you know that they're going to state it. No, but you know they're going to state it.
Yeah.
They're going to go. Kamala Harris is going to get this and go 23% of all parental loss and just hit a few little talking points. And it's going to become propaganda extraordinaire across the board. All the while, this entire article is saying, literally in the article, yeah, we don't actually have any numbers. So we just estimated based on how many people are around, the odds of them potentially having a child, and then the odds of potential mortality rate of a potential subset of demographic. Literally, this study means nothing at all.
U.S. life expectancy improved in 2022, but child deaths rose and drug overdoses were deadlier than ever. Well, we don't know what those numbers are, but just trust us on this one. That was
but
right
we're just
to the
going to
left
estimate
of the last thing you just read. It's like,
yeah,
they've literally just admitted to making this entire thing up.
The entire thing was made up. Exactly right. And no, go ahead. This is so good.
We know drug-related deaths are up. Well, how do we know they're up? Well, we have this thing called a porous border. And since 1999 to 2024, what has become an ever-increasing problem? It's the flow of a drug called fentanyl over the southern U.S. border. Manufactured in China, shipped over, all the pre-chemicals are shipped over to the cartels. They manufacture it and they bring it in. And they just don't care how many people die from it because it is so a speck that the size of the head of a pin gets onto your skin. It'll get you high if it doesn't at least kill you. Okay.
Yeah, you're toast, yeah.
So it's minute amount. They can bring in something that would fit in the cap of this, a little, like fill that up and flatten it. And that is enough to kill thousands, tens of thousands of people. The cartels bring it in because it's so small. It's easier to smuggle and the profits are so large,
it's more concentrated,
because so little is required. And so that's the big thing here. And they never delinked the two numbers. It's just like, well, look at all these drug related deaths.
It's about to happen.
Some guns in there somewhere.
No, it's about to happen.
Drugs and guns.
It's about to happen. I would never leave you out in the cold, Tim, because you know how much I love me a good Tim reaction. So, like that. So, so we've established all this is just made off numbers and estimates. But now the delinking happens. Get ready, Tim, because we're about to delink. This is number 10. Federal data shows that drug overdose deaths are most common and rising fastest among people in their mid-30s and 40s. And a new study found a significant surge in parental losses from drug overdoses. About 72,800 children lost a parent to drug overdose in 2020, up 345% from 1999. 345% increase. That doesn't leave a lot for gun violence, does it?
No, that seems like there's a drug problem.
It doesn't.
You just mix in some guns, you just make some assumptions, about guns and throw those numbers together, then you can get to that 100,000 number, I guess.
You nailed
I
it.
don't know.
Well, here's the gun part. This is the official culmination of the delinking. There was a 39% increase in children who lost a parent to gun violence from 18,000 to 25,000, compared with a 24% increase in the number of children who lost parents to all other causes of death. So 345% increase on drug overdoses, 39% increase of guns, and all of it's made up.
Yeah, I was going to say, where are they getting these precise numbers like 39.72%? It's made up. They just told you the previous paragraph.
Completely.
These are fictitious numbers. We just guessed. This is our best guess. But their best guess also has an agenda pushing that best guess. And so the agenda is going to inflate those numbers.
So what we just told you, what we just walked you through the entire study report from CNN. I'm going to take you back. Now that I've shown you everything, Tim, I'm going to go back and read that article title one more time. Nearly 100,000 children in the U.S. lost a parent to drug overdose or gun violence in 2020 study finds. Wow! It's amazing when you read the articles and the studies, what comes out different from those titles, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's so weird.
And most people won't read the body of the article. They'll just read the headline and go, oh, look, and it'll be all over social media. And Kamala Harris will be out there with a Venn diagram talking about why this is such an existential threat to our national security and climate change.
Exactly. You figured it out, Tim. You hacked the system. And I mean, I'm going to be honest. You don't get too much credit for hacking that one because it's here's pretty much what they do, guys. And it's really easy. They do that a lot. Here's the thing. If you are a gun rights advocate, a gun rights supporter, a Second Amendment supporter, if you are sick of getting infringed on from the left, all you got to do is read what they say and remember 3 weeks ago. That you have to have a 3-week memory ability, and you have to have the ability to read. And you literally, they will do this to themselves every time, Tim. They did the exact same thing with I mentioned earlier, the guns are the number one cause of death of children in America. That was the exact same thing. They just made it up and included 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds, completely excluded the gang violence, completely excluded everything. And they took that one little talking point and they just repeated it in mass for 6 months.
Yeah. It's like Davy or a K-12 shooting database. It depends on how you filter my data. And I keep very meticulous records. Now, if you filter it one way, you get 2,032 shootings in schools. But if you filter it another way, you get 8. What?
So, listen, there's a lot of ways to filter the data, Tim. It's really important.
It's all based on those filters, folks.
Oh, my God. It's such manipulation. It's so much overt manipulation. Like I said, if you can remember 3 weeks, that's when they change it. I mean, literally, just remember that long and you'll be good.
It's not surprising this is coming from the Communist News Network either. I mean, it's not like they have an agenda or anything.
No.
Well, anyway. I can't wait until we get the next. I can't wait for the next release of these earth-shattering studies that the anti-gunners have in store for us. I can only imagine they're going to ramp up as we go into this election cycle of 2024. So as more of these little gems present themselves, we'll bring them to you. Thank you for watching Second Legacy, and we'll talk to you guys soon.